Hello. We are the Lightsaber Legion, and we would like to play. But we only have like 20 bucks or so. Let's talk about it. Hey, what's going on YouTube? Lightsaber Samurai here, back again for another video. And recently we just got done talking about the Nintendo 3DS and why you should skip that. Great video, link down below if you haven't seen it. But in the comment section, a lot of viewers were telling me about some other systems that are also quite cheap to collect for in 2022. And one that was brought up was the Nintendo Wii. And so I thought I'd put that to the test and went out, looked at some Wii games, checked out some Wii games in my collection, and saw that many had actually come down quite a bit in price. So in this video, we're going to talk about 5 Wii games that you can get for 20 bucks or less. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first up on the list is actually a compilation of a bunch of different games by our good folks at SNK, and this is SNK Arcade Classics Volume 1, and what this has is like 20 different Neo Geo games that came out on like the AES system and the CD system and all that stuff. It's great to find it here in this package because Neo Geo games are mad expensive right now, and this compilation can be had for about $17 as of the making of this video. So in this game, you've got fantastic fighting games like The Art of Fighting, like King of Fighters 94, and King of the Monsters. You've got excellent shooters like Last Resort. You've got excellent action platformer games like Magician Lord, fantastic beat-em-ups like Fatal Fury and Sengoku. The list goes on. Excellent sports games like Neo Turf Masters, which, I mean, that's pretty much all I need for this compilation. You know, this compilation works great. You can get this on other systems like the PS2 and the PSP. There's some technical issues like long load times and the like. That being said, this one works super smooth. It's got pretty quick load times and everything runs the way it's supposed to. The major issue I would have in this is in the control scheme. On the back of the package, it says it works with the classic controller, and that's true, but not for every game. Many of the games, in fact, want you to use the Wii remote in a horizontal orientation and kind of play it like that, and it's not the best kind of controller for that, especially when I'm playing fighting games like King of Fighters 94. For most other games it works okay, but I wish they would just have made every game compatible with the Pro Controller. Again, like I said, this is a game that can be had for about 17 bucks or so, and that's huge bang for the buck considering you're getting 20 of Neo Geo's best games for their system on the Wii. So if you haven't picked this one up, definitely go scoop it. Okay, next up on the list here is a bit of a hidden gem by our good folks at UFO, which is a super budget company when it comes to developing games, and they had a few on the Nintendo Wii. My favorite here is Heavenly Guardian, and for those of you who haven't played this, this is actually brought to us by the developers of Pocky and Rocky, the Pocky and Rocky series on like the Famicom and Super Nintendo. The developers lost the name to the license, and so they had to rechange it to Heavenly Guardian. And in this, you'll play as a ice princess who befriends a boy in this village. The villagers are more or less afraid of her, but she made friends with this young boy who now has a life-threatening disease, and so she's off to battle a bunch of other gods and demons, like to find the cure to this potion so she can save this boy. This is a top-down shooter, much like Pocky and Rocky was, and you'll see some similarities in the gameplay and especially in the difficulty. This game is not for the faint of heart, despite the cutesy aesthetics to it, and the graphics and the art style I like a lot. It's very, you know, it's a very clean, cel-shaded look to, and I find it pretty much enjoyable. Going back to the action, again, top-down shooter. She has a bunch of different pickups that she can use. She's an ice princess, and she'll attack with a variety of like snow and ice attacks. You've got, you know, a rapid shot, a spread shot, and some other things. She's got a bomb type attack that she can use with her companion, and all in all, it's a great game. Again, the only issue I have with it is the difficulty. I've gotten soft in my old age, and so I got to get that old school, like retro, like gameplay mentality back for this one. All in all, this is a great game, one that people really don't speak about, and the people that do speak about it hate this game. I see a lot of hate for this game, or at least I used to online, but this is a great game. It also came out on the PS2, where it's quite a bit more expensive, but you can find it on the Wii for about $5. So I mean, for $5, that's definitely worth it. Go ahead and grab it. Okay, next up is a fighting game on the Wii, and there weren't a whole lot. Some of the great ones like Budokai Tenkaichi 3 and Tatsunoko vs. Capcom have shot up in price. Here's one you can get for about $12, $13 as of the making of this video. It's brought to us by our friends at Konami, and this is Castlevania Judgment. This is also a game that gets a little bit of hate online, but I after looking at some gameplay for it and just kind of looking at screenshots and things like that, I started to ask myself, can it really be that bad? And so I went ahead and picked it up, and I could see some of the issues people had with it, but all in all, I think this is a pretty good game. Okay, so starting out, you get a decent sized character roster. I think it's about 15-ish to 20-ish or so characters, which is okay. You've got a lot of the main ones there, like you got Death, you've got Dracula himself, Simon Belmont, Carmilla, Alucard, and Silpha, a bunch of the main staples of the Castlevania series, which is good. There's a bunch of different modes in this, from a story mode to your standard arcade mode and two-player fighting mode, to this castle mode, which is basically kind of like an adventure style a thing like wrapped up into this game. It uses the same engine and fighting mechanics, but basically you'll go through room after room in this and presumably Dracula's castle, and you'll take on standard enemies, and you'll finish like specific objectives, like kill all the enemies using your magic or your sub-weapons attack and things like that. And so I thought that was pretty cool, if not a little bit bare bones, and that's kind of my biggest complaint with this fighting game overall, is it's a little bare bones. You got a decent roster of characters, though not the biggest, but a decent roster, but most characters can only pull off a dozen or so combos per character, which for a fighting game, it's not technical in the sense of like a Tekken or a Virtua Fighter, where you've got a ton of different moves and you use your specific moves for the situation. You've got in addition to your two types of attacks, you've got a jump and a block, and so you'll definitely be using your jump and your block to evade and to dodge incoming attacks. And then it's more about picking your spots and attacking at the right time. So it's tactical in that sense, but hardcore fighting fans might be put off by that. I was a little bit put off by that, but once I kind of understood what I was working with, and it was pretty good. The graphics are good for the Wii. I mean, it looks like a really crisp PS2 title. The art design also had people kind of up in arms about it. I think the art style is fine and it works for this game. It's brought to us, I can't remember the mangaka's name, Tagoshi Abada, I think is his name. He's the guy that made Death Note. So you can see like influence of that style of anime in the character models. But I thought for the most part it was okay. I just thought that some of the characters don't look like themselves, especially after seeing them in more current media, such as the Castlevania anime on Netflix. But other than that, this is a pretty solid fighter that's, again, like $15 to $20 as of the making of this. And also, I feel like this might be a game that becomes expensive in the future. So if you have any interest in this game at all from what I've shown or what you've heard or seen about it, you might as well pick it up at the current price and not have to pay $50 to $100 or more, a few years down the line. So definitely, I mean, if it interests you, $15, grab it. Okay, going on to the penultimate game on the list, and we gotta talk about the OG on the system. This is Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy, and I'm surprised that this game is hovering around the $15 mark right now. I remember at one point when Wii collecting was going hardcore, and I mean, the fact that this is a first-party title, when it comes to Nintendo systems, you kind of want to scoop these up first, because these are the ones that hold their value / rise in price, and the fact that you can get Mario Galaxy for $15 right now is fantastic, considering, in my opinion, it's one of my favorite Mario games of all time. In this, you'll go after your standard, save the princess from Bowser storyline, but again, you'll chase him across the galaxy in this, and you'll go to different planets, and like I said, all of it is very cool. They added a lot of things into this game while still keeping true to the standard Mario formula, so that's my most favorite thing about this game. So it all feels very familiar but very new at the same time. You've got a bunch of the musical tracks and things like that we've heard of, but I mean, the arrangements in these are superb. These are some of the best renditions of the Mario tunes that I've heard in any game before it or since, and so the soundtrack is automatically a 10 out of 10 for me. The graphics also, they were really pushing the Wii with this game. Again, the graphics for the Wii itself, they didn't really, jump into the next gen like the PS3 and the Xbox 360 did, but I mean, playing this on a big screen TV, and I'm using the Wii U to play all these games, but yeah, just playing in a standard 480p, like, it looks great. Mario has a bunch of different moves this time, so he's got some transformations like the Fire Mario, which is basically just like our fireball shooting Mario. We've got Boo Mario in it, and Bee Mario, which is nice, where he turns into a cute little bee, is good for flying around and attacking enemies. All in all, again, this is a fantastic game. I had a lot of fun trying to collect all of the stars in every world for this. I never came close, but shout out to my buddy Aaron, because he was able to catch all the stars. I'm pretty much sure he got every star in this game. But yeah, if you see this, again, this is a game that'll probably go back up in price in the future, so the fact now that you can get it for $15 is an absolute steal. There's a ton of content packed into this, and this is a staple for any Wii collection, so if you for some reason don't have this yet, now's the time to go get it. Okay, and going on to the final game on the list here, and I don't know how this game is still $8, but I mean, that's our gain in this point. This is Red Steel 2, and this game is the sequel to Red Steel, which was a launch game on the Wii. It honestly wasn't that great. It was okay, but there's some issues with the graphics, some issues with the motion controls and things like that, and they really worked on the motion controls on this game. In fact, this is the game that introduced the Wii Motion Plus to the Wii, and so there were some issues with the tracking with the original Wii motes, and so they definitely beefed that up to get a 1-to-1 ratio is what they were going for, and for the most part they succeeded. So playing through this game, you're a member of a clan who was recently banished, but your clan was attacked there afterwards, and so you kind of in your own banishment to come back and help this town. This is a real cool blend of spaghetti western and kind of like a steampunk vibe. You'll get you'll get vibes from games like, it kind of reminded me of Borderlands 2 in some ways, especially with the cel-shaded art style, which I thought was a lot better than what they had in the first game. The graphics are fantastic, and they'll definitely stand the test of time as the years go on. One of the major upgrades to this game over its sequel was the fact that you can wield a gun and the sword whenever you want it, basically. So in the original Red Steel, it was basically a first-person shooter, and then at some points you would fight an enemy with a sword, for honor or whatever the case. But this one, nah, if a enemy's reloading with a gun, then you can close in and slash them with a sword. If people are shooting at you with guns, you can use the sword to block and deflect bullets. If somebody's pulling out a sword and running up on you, you can just take your gun and kneecap them or shoot them in the head. It's a great game. And it's kind of got a pseudo open world style for what I've been playing so far. You got some side missions and missions you take on this this kind of poster board like bounty hunter style, and you'll go and take these missions and earn money. You'll use that money to then go and buy different attacks from the sensei of your clan. And so all in all, this is a fantastic game. Again, how this game is not super expensive, I don't know. It's a great game. I don't know if people just didn't play it on the Wii back in the day, because I wasn't really plugged into the Wii like that, so I don't know what this game does, how it's perceived as far as popularity or how good it is. This is a fantastic game, and you should definitely pick it up. This again is another must-have title on the Wii. They can be had for about $10 or so. So if you don't have Red Steel 2, if you've been putting it off, please go pick this up. I do think that people will come around to this game, and this one also might become a rare and expensive in the future. Alright guys, I do believe that's all I got for you for this video, but let's talk about it in the comment section below. Questions, comments, concerns, threats. What are some other great titles on the Nintendo Wii that we can get for a cheap price? This is something I might dive back into in the future, because I felt like I had gotten all the games that I wanted on the Wii. I've got a collection of about 30 of my favorites or so, and now that the Wii prices are coming down, I might be going out to look for more of those games in the future. Again, even when it comes to heavy hitters, I've got some heavy hitters like say The Last Story or Pandora's Tower back here, and both of those games now can be had for pretty comfortably under $100. Anyway, if you like this content, go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't done so already. I do believe that's all I got for you guys. Lightsaber Samurai out. Peace.